Hello, my name's NinjaBob and welcome to a showcase video of my sort of AFK gold and XP farm. And I say sort of because it doesn't quite work. Now wait, before you click away from the video, I know what you're thinking. I came here to see a video about AFK gold farms and now you're telling me it doesn't work. It does. It just doesn't quite work the way it should, but that's nothing to do with the design, it's to do with the way that Zombie Pigmen are behaving on PlayStation 4 Edition of Minecraft. Now whether this is a bug, whether it's going to be fixed, I don't know, but they are not behaving in the way that you would expect on, say, PC Edition. But before we get into that, let me tell you a little bit about the design. We are on the roof of the Nether. Specifically, we are 100 blocks above the roof of the Nether. I'm not going to go into detail about how you get up here, you can do it with ender pearls, or there are ways of breaking through Bedrock, which is what I've done. If you'd like to learn how to do that, there are plenty of tutorial videos showing how to do that, and I have also done it in my survival series Hollow Mountain, so if you'd like to see me doing that, then by all means check out that episode. There'll be a link on the screen any second now. As I said, we're 100 blocks up above the roof of the Nether. Specifically, the yellow platform at the bottom there is 100 blocks above. Then 3 blocks above that we have another spawning platform, and then 3 blocks above that we have the glass. The glass and the half slabs prevent any ghasts from spawning up here, which is the real danger when you're building in the Nether. And I can testify to that. If you would like to check out the survival episodes where I built this thing, you'll see how many ghasts you get up here once you start building. But now that I've managed to get it covered in glass, there are no ghasts up here whatsoever. Also, because the gap is only 2 blocks between each layer, you don't get any withers spawning up here, which is good because we wouldn't be able to kill them with the mechanism that is used in this design. We do get the occasional magma, but they're no real harm. I do want to quickly mention a couple of people that have inspired this build. Dataless822, first of all, gave me the initial idea to come up to the roof of the Nether and build some sort of AFK farm. I've also borrowed elements of the design from Doc M, who used a crusher system in one of his gold farms, and Snow Crash, from whom I've borrowed the donut technology, in other words, the big circle design. Really, it's those 3 guys that have inspired this build, but hopefully I've put my own unique twist on it. Plus, of course, the challenge of doing it on console, purely in survival. And like I say, if you'd like to see me attempting to build this thing, then go check out the episodes. I think it was around episode 10 that I started doing this. But I do it all entirely in survival mode. And the reason it's all built out of stained clay is because I've hollowed out a mountain in that self-same series. So by all means, go and check that out. Anyway, I'm going to get down off this stack of sand that I'm standing on. Let's go and have a look at the inside of this thing and show you how it works. So as we start to climb this thing, let me just explain a couple of basic things. First of all, I have built about 100-120 blocks away from my entrance to the roof of the Nether. The reason I've done that is so that when you're finished doing your farming, you can come back down, travel across the roof of the Nether where nothing can spawn, and hopefully by the time you get back to the hole leading you back into the Nether, the piggies will have had a chance to calm down and stop aggressing you. As I mentioned before, this entire thing is built out of hardened stained clay. This that has all come out of the inside of my mountain home. So I've used primarily red, orange and yellow and a little bit of white because that's what comes out of the mountain. It is built over 3 layers, so the yellow platform that I mentioned before is the lowest spawning level, but below that we have a couple of other rooms. This, first of all, is our storage room, and this is where all of the goodies will come down. Now this farm has only just been finished, so there's not a lot in here so far, but you'll see that we've got some gold nuggets stacking up there, some rotten flesh stacking up there, and then the other bits and pieces pile up in there. We've already got ourselves some swords and some gold ingots as well, which is quite a rare drop. But because we're killing them in combat mode, you do have the chance of getting their combat drops, their rare drops, which you wouldn't get if you were just to kill them passively. Just above this is our kill floor. We have 4 kill chambers with hoppers to collect the loot, and what happens is the white stained clay that you can see along there is designed to come out 3 pistons and crush them into the wall. So the zombie pigmen gather up inside these chambers, and then every minute or so the pistons extend for just long enough to suffocate them so that their XP drops for us to gather and the goodies drop down into the hoppers. Going up a little further takes us to our first spawning platform. Now you can't quite see the yellow is just at the back there, but you can see orange and red coming closer. Basically when you first get up here, the zombie pigmen will probably only spawn on the yellow area because that's 24 blocks away. 24 to 40 blocks leading out on the far end, and then as you get closer it changes to orange and then red. The drop chambers are just there with trapdoors on them to fool the pigmen into thinking they're blocks so that they fall in. And then we have another platform here which is built identically. Again, 2 blocks tall to stop anything else from spawning. And as you can see, there's a good healthy number of zombie pigmen starting to gather up now, including one of those chicken jockeys, which are quite rare actually. And I don't actually know whether my crusher is going to kill that guy, but I guess we'll find out in a moment. Up onto the roof, nothing up here really. I just wanted to prove the point that nothing will spawn up here. It's a huge 81 by 81 circle that we're standing on here, a massive flat area, and yet nothing spawns up here, and it's because of all the glass and the bottom half slabs that we've used. But obviously it gives you a great view of all the pigmen, the magmas, and our little guy on a chicken. Hi! A couple more areas to show you just before we begin our demo. Over the back here is the sorting system where the gold nuggets and rotten flesh are all sorted out, and then at the top here is behind the scenes of our crusher system, and you can see here I've used a hopper timer with slime blocks which push out our crusher on a triple piston system, and they are all set just long enough to crush the zombie pigmen in position. This is the main timer, which is controlled from the storage room. There's a lever down there which you flick to set this timer off, which is set to go for about a minute, and what that basically does is keeps the walls retracted for about a minute before setting off the redstone to set off all the crushers. Like I say, the crushers only push out for just long enough to kill the zombie pigmen before they retract again, but that's all controlled centrally from this hopper clock here. And as you can see, I've used half slabs just about everywhere to try and prevent zombie pigmen from spawning in here, although to be fair, they wouldn't be able to escape anyway, but I'm trying to keep this place safe, although I have just noticed I've missed a couple of spots, so I'll need to get slabs on them at some point, but that's the idea. This room, nothing should be able to spawn in. So here we are back on the spawning platforms, and I'm now going to demonstrate exactly why this thing doesn't quite work the way it's meant to. But as you'll see, it's nothing to do with the way this thing's been built, it's nothing to do with the crushers, it's to do with how the zombie pigmen are behaving. I'm going to shoot one of these zombie pigmen now, and what should happen is all of the zombie pigmen in range, pretty much every single one that we can see, except maybe the ones right at the very edge, they should all start to aggress. So if I shoot this guy just in the middle here, this guy over here should definitely attack, and that one there, and those two guys over there, they should all start attacking, along with anybody else that's down here on this platform as well. And like you see, there's zombie pigmen everywhere. There's no good reason why they shouldn't attack. I've tried this in every difficulty mode, it doesn't make any difference, but for some reason, it's not behaving the way it should. So let's give this a go. I'm going to ping an arrow at this guy, and let's see what happens. There we go. Now he should be angry, but all his friends should be angry too, and so far, they're not. But what we've found is if we get up on the roof of this thing and run around, just get a little closer to each one of them, you'll see they all start to aggress. Some of them are a bit reluctant at first, but eventually you'll get them all aggressing, and they all try to find a route towards you, and they can't. There is no route to you up here. So what they do is they try to get to the middle, and they start to drop into our kill chambers. There we go, we've got some guys volunteering to come over to their death now. Now what I've been doing to get this thing to work is just basically running around for a little while, not too fast, because otherwise you leave them behind. But yeah, if you can get a couple of the zombie pigmen to start following you, hopefully the rest will follow suit. There we go, they're picking up now. So we'll drag these guys into the middle, and we gather up as many as we can into the kill chambers. What I didn't do was flick the switch, so we'll get these guys dropped in, and then we'll go and flick the switch on this thing to get it working. Here we go, let's just get them to walk across those trapdoors. There we go, so hopefully some more will follow suit, but while we're waiting, you can see them gathering up down there waiting for us. They're all eager to die. Let's just come down here and flick the lever. Now this is setting off the timer, but it starts with an initial kill. So you can hear them all dying. There we go, the crusher has extended, and they are all suffocating. They all drop. The XP comes straight to me. I don't need to go get it. And most of the loot, pretty much all of the loot to be fair, will drop into those hoppers and start filtering its way down into these chests. Now hopefully we've got ourselves a few pieces there. Yeah, we're definitely onto our third stack of gold nuggets there. So let's go and see if we can drag a few more in. But hopefully you can see how it's meant to work. And I know it doesn't quite work at the moment. Like I say, I'm kind of hoping that this is a bug of some sort and that 4J will fix this at some point. If you look at the dataless video that I mentioned, or the dataless farm that I mentioned, he posted a showcase himself fairly recently of it. But you watch the way the zombie pigmen aggress in the PC edition. It is completely different to this. They aggress exactly like this, except you don't need to be standing 3 blocks away. They do that from 30 or 40 blocks away, and that's pretty much the principle that I was working to when I designed and built this thing. But it hasn't quite worked. It hasn't quite gone to plan. But hopefully, like I say, you can see that the design is a good one, and it does work. It's very efficient. But hopefully if we come back down to the bottom here, you'll see there's more pigmen gathering up, and they respawn pretty quickly. As soon as they're all killed, more will start to appear, and there we go, the pistons have just extended again, and they are all starting to die. And we can come down here to the observation deck, if you want to call it there. There we go, and there's XP gathering up, and you get the occasional magma, which you just have to punch them in the face. Anyway, hopefully you get the idea of how this thing is meant to work. Like I say, I don't think there's anything wrong with the design, to be honest. I think the design is sound. It's the way the zombie pigmen are behaving at the moment that's causing the problem. Hey, look, the occasional one gets to have a little bounce around on the slime box before they're killed. That must be nice for them. There you go. It's a fun way to go, isn't it? killed by trampoline. But if you've got any ideas as to how I could improve this thing, or indeed if you've got any idea why the zombie pigmen are not aggressing in the way that they are supposed to, then please by all means let me know, because it's driving me crazy at the moment. But hopefully you like the design, hopefully you've enjoyed the video. Like I say, check out my survival series and consider subscribing to my channel, where I've built all of this in survival, and along with other things including slime farms and steak farms and all kinds of other things. In the meantime, thanks for watching, hope you've enjoyed it, please leave a like if you have, and I will hopefully see you in another video soon. Bye!